Welcome to season 3 of the Kayak Bass Connection podcast. Hey, I'm your host, Jerry, back again. I'm lucky I've got an interesting guest today, Mike Husar out of Sandwich, Illinois, right? That's Northern Illinois, right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. Hey, I asked you to come on today just because I saw some really interesting ideas you had for some kind of a low level, I guess would be the way to put it, a kayak bass tournament trail series. So talk to me, what is this working man's trail that you've envisioned and moving forward with?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Jared. I started my fishing career. I was a longtime shore fisherman, and 2020, when the pandemic hit, I went out to buy a bike because the only thing they hadn't shut down were streets and lakes. And I went out to buy a bike, and there were no more bikes. It was the number one selling item during that period. And a friend asked me if I had ever kayaked before, and I went down that rabbit hole after a few Chad Hoover videos and Christine Fisher videos.
Oh, yeah.
I jumped right in. And one of the trails that really helped refine my skills, because it's definitely a different animal when you are catching fish for a tournament in a kayak, were the Gribby, Illinois chapter. They also have an Indiana chapter, which is still active, and the KPR series, which was, like you said, a low-level, small entry fee. It's a weekly series, so it allowed you to pick a day and a lake that you were able to go out and hone your skills if you're a new angler and start to understand what it's like to catch a fish, put it on the board, have it not flip off. Where's my net? Do I have my identifier? Where's my phone? I got to turn the app on. There's a lot of things
There's a lot
involved
to think about. Yeah, there is.
And I kind of made the mistake in the beginning. My first tournament was a Hobie tournament, and I drove 19 hours to Lake Seminole. Yeah, and it snowed. It was 36 degrees, and I caught one fish one day, and I used a net, but that thing was Michael Jordan, and when I was trying to get my phone ready and everything, he just hurls himself right over the edge of the net. And safely to say, I haven't used a net since and haven't lost a fish. But I think it's important that there is a low-level trail to help new anglers figure those things out. The last thing you want to do is spend $700-800 driving 20 hours to learn a lot of things. KPR and Gribby went away in Illinois for whatever reason, and I thought it'd be a good idea to bring it back as the working man's trail. Pick a day to fish. I'm working right now on how to divide up Illinois because, northern lakes aren't as great as southern lakes, so how do we make it even to where everybody can compete on the same level? And for those that are new, hone their skills, and for those that are great, to get out on the water and maybe make a little scratch.
Nice, very nice. So if I remember correctly, the model was is it truly any day of the week you could pick, or was it like Thursday through Sunday? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was they had set it up Thursday through Sunday. You sign up, you pick a day to fish, and then there'll be a host of lakes that you can choose from week to week. So whether I split the state down the middle and have like a west tournament number one, and then an east tournament number one, and try to have maybe 6 or 7 events for the season. That's what I'm still trying to determine. So if anybody has any ideas, float them by me. Because like I said, for people that can't get down to Banner, that might be up, towards Wisconsin, how do we make it kind of not fair, but just kind of more competitive, in that aspect?
Yeah, I like the concept. I fished a couple of those GRBY tournaments, and what thing I liked about it is that regardless of what day off you could get, whether it was a Saturday or a Thursday, almost everybody, if they set their mind to it, can find at least one day to get on the water.
Yeah, absolutely. And the stipulations are is you have 8 hours. So if I'm sure our time frame would be like 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening, and as long as you fish an 8-hour period, you can choose your time and day. As I mentioned in the previous recording we just did, sometimes life gets in the way, work gets in the way, kids, but you may find a short window to where you can get out, drag that yak out, get on the water, and compete.
Yeah, just from my perspective, I tell you, I like that. I like the idea of choosing any day of the week, because a lot of times I'll have a Monday that's available instead of a Friday or even Saturday. So that I like that idea. So where would people go to kind of catch up with you and see where you're at on this? Because right now this is a concept you're working on.
Absolutely, yeah. So on my
Okay.
personal Facebook page, I'll probably
Okay.
start building that for 2026 as
Yeah.
Susie and I focus on the Illinois Bass Nation kayak stuff. But I wanted to get the word out and get people excited about that. So right now it's just my personal Facebook page. So if you're not a friend of mine, search me out. I think I've friended about any picture that shows up on my Facebook page. If you're holding a fish, I have sent you an invite.
Nice.
And I think I've gathered about 125 new friends in the past
Just
couple of days.
yeah, just with trying to develop a BASS tournament. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. All
You know,
right. And that's
one of the
Mike.
things that I'm dealing with, and the reason that I wanted to start these trails and be involved is I'm starting to get some arthritis in my hip and my back, and I
Mm-hmm.
know that I used to fish 14, 15 tournaments a season. This year I'm only hitting 4, and I don't want to lose that fellowship. I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things that really drew me into the sport, being a Marine, and not being in the Marine Corps for a long time. I've missed that fellowship of
Mm-hmm.
guys and gals, and it's just another way to give people a hobby, maybe give somebody a purpose, and continue that fellowship. Because I have really yet to be part of something to where you could stand next to a Christine Fisher and you wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
even know it because she's so humble. She'll
Yeah.
answer any of your questions, and that type of fellowship. She's not going to tell you where she catches them,
Mm-hmm.
but I just find that just such a big draw, especially in today's day and age where we're really seeking that
Yeah.
fellowship.
Do you think, how do we overcome the challenge of this is an online tournament, people picking their own days? So the chances of them running into each other in the water may not be real great. Could this be something where you try to push the social media chat groups or something like that so people kind of know when, not necessarily, hey, I used a white chatterbait to catch everything, but so people can communicate back and forth. There's got to be some mechanism there. I'm just
Yeah,
thinking out
so
loud.
I will eventually create a Facebook page for the Working Man's Trail, and then
Okay.
people can communicate through that.
All right.
Um, the other nice thing too is we don't need permits. We're not going to have
Yeah.
20 guys showing up at one ramp, so we don't have to. We can circumvent that a little bit.
Sure.
Maybe possibly that 10% payout. We might be able to work around that as well.
Yeah, I think when the original GRBY was going on, there wasn't that exclusion for the DNR that, if you have less than 20
Hmm.
people, 20 boats, you don't have to have a permit. So that
Right.
certainly, when they brought that about, which I think was a good idea, that certainly going to make your job a little easier.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Sign up and go. Sign up
Yeah.
and go.
And so if I remember correctly, on those tournament trails, you had a week in advance, you had to select your day.
Correct.
Is that your recollection?
Yeah, so when Tourney X was challenged with this type of tournament, they set up a really nice options on the website when you go to sign up, and then they even have an option now where you can change your day. So like if
Okay.
you sign up on a Monday and all of a sudden you got to take little Johnny to the doctor, you can
Mm-hmm.
go into Tourney X and you can actually change your day now. So it gives them that flexibility because
Cool.
emergencies always happen. So
Yeah, and I mean, you may have really bad weather or something that comes
right,
in. It's not safe to be on the water.
right.
That's good, especially for kayak folks. So, all right, that's pretty cool. You got a lot on your plate. So
Yes, sir. Yeah,
between,
I needed a purpose, and
that's awesome. Well,
I want to thank the good Lord for putting me in this position and
yeah.
having people like Susie and yourself just reaching
Well,
out and willing to help. It's been a wonderful, incredible 5 days.
that's great. Well, I think that as you said earlier, I think maybe been on a different recording we did that the kayak fishing space, I think has got nothing but growth left in it. I continue to see the prices of full fledged bass boats and boats just skyrocketing. And I think that's just going to end the development of plastic hull boats, what do you call them, kayaks or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
The development continues to evolve to the point where you can get involved with these type of sports, whether you go to Walmart and spend $150, or you can go to you go to Ultimate Rigged Out Kayak. You can have 15 grand in your kayak, and what I've seen time and time again is equipment does not equal results,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times you see a guy that is in a cheap kayak that's paddling it, and he's the one whooping up on everybody in the tournament. So
100%.
don't nobody should let that deter them.
100%. Yeah, don't be intimidated by all what you see on a boat. I've gotten my butt kicked, like you said, by somebody that is sitting in the hull.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
exactly
so
right.
So yeah, start at whatever level you can that you feel comfortable with, and the
Mm-hmm.
important thing is to get on the water and start experiencing what it's like to fish in a tournament, because it is a different animal.
Yeah, it is. Well, and this concept that you're going to be working on for 2026, this Working Man's Trail is the perfect opportunity to do that. It's, you're going to
100%.
have low entry fees, low risk, but you know what? Like you said, it's a chance to meet other people that are doing the same thing and great fellowship. Heck, you never know. You may pay for your gas or something too. So that'd
100%.
be
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, awesome. Mike, thanks again for being a guest, and please keep us updated on both the BASS developments and your working man's tool. You got my number, all right?
Absolute, Jared, and thank you for having me on, and I look forward to meeting you in person sometime.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Mike.